Good evening and welcome to another production here for the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing and divisional racing on Texas. Tonight we have a couple of barn burners in store for you with the Dirt Slingin Outlaws. Pro late models will be first on the docket. These guys in qualifying trim right now. About a minute and a half left of qualifying. Then we go on to the super late models. You don't have to change screens tonight, folks, or stream links, any of that stuff here. Tonight we're going to stay right directly on one stream here this evening. Again, got to thank everybody out there for tuning in to Full Velocity Racing Network. Again, I'm Todd Stanton, the producer, the guy down here pushing all the buttons, the announcer here tonight. Phil LeCast may be joining me here momentarily. Not sure if he's going to be able to make it over here from Har Motorsports in time. Not sure if he's going to be here. Was not able to get the password to go into Har Motorsports so I could actually be a co-host with him tonight, as Jack was over there pushing all the buttons and making sure all the production was going out for the Full Velocity Racing Network. I know Charles Wooten going to have a race here momentarily too, about a half an hour away for another trifecta night here, Monday night madness, we're going to call it here on Full Velocity Racing Network. Got to thank our sponsor, Spotify Firearms. Got to thank dirt-series.com, our official caution overlay here for tonight. Got to thank iRacing iFlag. CNC Race Designs and Evil One Graphics is taking a pause there, looking at some of these cars, looking to see what's going on out on the Speedway here tonight. As we're going to have a fantastic race in store for you. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch here tonight this evening. Hopefully you guys all having a great time out there as we are racing here just in a brief moment here with heat racing action coming on. The docket. Qualifying is over. So heat race number one, getting ready, locked and loaded. They're coming to post, coming to grid here. And it's going to go away like this. Starting on the pole, driving the 4D machine. He's going to be showing his 04 on your screen. That is Frank Gonzalez. Fast Frank aboard the 04 machine. His dance partner to the outside, going to be the number 44. That's Tyler Blankenship. Out inside row at number 2, starting in the third starting position, that's the 55, that's Steven Spees, and outside him is number 18 of Eddie Molinax. Rolling off in the 5th position, driving the number 50, that is Brett Pryor, and Justin Witt rolls off in the 6th starting position here in heat race number 1. Inside row number 4, starting in the 7th starting position, that's the high side hustler. Driving the number 33, that's Martin Karch, and outside of him, that's Mr. Excitement, driving the number 5, that's David Day. That is 8 cars here for heat race number 1. They are locked and loaded here for tonight's heat racing action. Going to see what's going to happen here tonight. Is a lot of heavy hitters throughout the whole field. Does not look like David Day going to make the call here for the Pro Late Model heat race number 1. But it is going to be Frank Gonzalez, Fast Frank, and the number 44 of Tyler Blankenship on the front row. The Hanover Wrecker sponsored machine. Both those sponsored by Hanover Wrecker Service. As those guys get ready, locked and loaded for heat race number 1.
Hey, Todd, I can finally say hello, brother. And it feels like a long time since you and I have shared the airwaves together, of course. But great to come over here to DSO. We just wrapped up at Har Evolution. Cool to come over here out to the USA International Speedway with the guys at DSO. We open up the Pro Late Model season. So not to jump on your parade, brother, but hey, we are here. We are locked and loaded. We are ready to go. Looks like a light. So go out on top, drracing.com. Pace cars, I get everything in my end of the service stuff all worked out, and we're going to go green flag racing for 10 laps around the 3/4 mile. 10 laps this place. It can almost seem like an eternity. This is only the first of 2 heat races on the docket. Frank Gonzalez and Tyler Blankenship going to make up that front row, and look at that row of Stars on Dirt drivers there in that second row. Steven Spees and Eddie Molinax. Keep an eye on both those guys tonight. They're going to be good here, I got a feeling.
Yeah, definitely feel as USA International Speedway doesn't feel like I've left here. Was here Sunday night for the Sunday night shootout for the DWI guys, and man, what a show did they put on. This is the late models, the Pro Late Models here. Dirt Slingin Outlaws get ready to go. Green flag off a turn. Number 4 iRacing.com. Pace truck down on pit road. Just wait for the drivers to put that loud pedal down as they come down the front road. A little bit delayed. Green flags in the air. Fast Frank leading the charge down to turn number 1. These are fixed setups here this evening. Tyler Blankenship running right now in the second spot, but here comes the 55 of Steven Spees down to the bottom side.
Speeds down to the low side. He'll go door to door. Blankenship down the back stretch now into turn number 3. Tyler going to hold on to the spot, and he's going to look to take the lead now off of turn number 4 as he's going to pull alongside teammate Frank Gonzalez and use that power move maneuver on the outside to complete lap number 1. Gonzalez over Blankenship. Speeds in for third. Single file. Tyler going to look once again to make a move off of 2. Nothing happening there as we say single file in the top 3.
Yeah, top 3 single file. It's Gonzalez, Blankenship, Spees, Pryor, Eddie Molinax, Justin Witt, and Martin Karch. Those are your 7 cars out there running as they are pretty much staying single file throughout the whole field as they flash by that start-finish line. 8 laps are going to remain. Got to remind everybody out there, Full Velocity Racing Network here tonight, your source for esports racing. Don't forget those star donations out there, folks. And if you like what you see on Full Velocity Racing Network, make sure you hit us up with some star donations. It helps us out and makes us go a long way here on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
It sure does. Lets us stream out to more places, get more coverage out there. All the great leagues that we cover night after night. There are many of them. But, Todd, this race for 5th is really a good one here with Eddie Molinax, the number 18 car. Him and the number 7 of Justin Witt. Those guys really going at it. That is racing for the 5th spot. 7 cars out there on the racetrack. They're all single file in the top 4 for this race for 5th. So far, so good. As look like this time by, we're going to hit lap number 5. So we're approaching halfway mark here in heat race number 1. But Fast Frank, he's doing a good job up front. Blankenship Speeds prior to this back to this race here for 5th. It looks like give it to Eddie Molnix this time in a 3.
Yeah, Molnix in the Echo sponsored machine, the number 18 machine, holding on to the 5th spot. Meanwhile, down to the bottom side is the number 7 machine again of Justin Witt, just not going to go away here. A Thorn and a Molnix's side as of right now. Down to the bottom side, cannot make the passes. Molnix just got the momentum up top in that number 18 machine. Meanwhile, up front, a race going on for that 2nd spot. It is Tyler Blankenship down to the bottom. Steven Speeds in the 55 up to the top shelf of the Speedway. Side by side for the 2nd spot down the front straightaway in the turn 1. Give it to Speeds.
Yep, Speeds moved that outside lane, and I think that's going to be the preferred lane out here in the pros tonight with these fixed setups. Everybody looking for that grip up high and that big motor up high. And you could carry a lot of that momentum with these big, long straightaways, these long, flat, sweeping corners. It's tough to make these cars set up down low, but Tyler's going to go back out at the Speeds. We almost got a 3-car race back in turn number 1. Somehow, some way, Fast Frank holding off these guys, but Blankenship and Speeds continue to go at it door to door off of 2.
Yeah, Frank Gonzalez able to hold on. Steven Speeds running in that 2nd spot. Tyler Blankenship for 3. Speeds all over the rear bumper. And contact made between Blankenship and Speeds there for the 2nd spot. Roughing him up just a tad bit as the 44 into the 55 machine. Kind of misjudged the corner there just a little bit. So we have Popsicle 6 up in the air. Speeds fires back on the outside. The top shelf for the Speedway going rather well for that number 55 machine down into turn number 3. It is the number 4, Gonzalez with the lead. Here comes Blankenship down to the bottom side. Makes contact with the inside jersey barrier. He's going to lose the 2nd spot again to Steven Speeds in the 55. He puts himself in the 2nd. White flag in the air.
One more trip around here at the USA International Speedway 4-car. Number 4, Frank Gonzalez leading the field here. Speeds in for 2. Blankenship back there for 3rd. Brent Pryor in the 50 car running 4th. He's trying to enter the fray as well as we're in 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag going up in the air. Gift heat race number 1. 2 Fast Frank in the number 4. Steven Speeds in for 2. Blankenship for 3rd. Pryor for 4th. Eddie Molnix will the top 5. 6th will be, as it switches over, Justin Witt and Martin Kart's going to run our 7-car field here for heat race number 1. So one of the 2 heats in the books. But Todd, we got heat race number 2 about locked and loaded. 7 cars deep going to take to the Speedway.
Yeah, 7 cars deep, and it's going to go away like this. The Walls Beer Co. Beard Bomb Company, the sponsor here, the starting grid, starting on the pole to 017 of Adam Joseph. His dancing brother outside, driving the number 25. That's Spencer Swafford.
In that 2nd row will be car number 66. That is Steve Spees, and alongside in the number 15, the sidewinder, Scott Schroyer.
Rolling off in the third row inside. Rolling off 5th, the number 97, that's Blake Heather. And his dancing brother outside, John Hay. And then the number 75 machine going to roll off 6th.
And rounding out our field here aboard car 45 is going to be Mike Massey. So 7 drivers going to take their trick for 10 more laps around here. The USA International Speedway Pro late models, fixed setup and setting up for what is going to be a lightning fast dash here after this heat race concludes. We get a 30-lap feature event for the pros. Then we're going to switch gears completely, Todd. We're going to jump into the super late models. We're going to do it open setup style versus fixed setup. So what we're doing out here for the pros. So we're going to be here at USA all night, I believe, but we're going to see 2 completely different styles of racing. These fixed setups, I always call fixed setup racing the great equalizers. We all go out there on the same stuff. I know the majority of the community, they always tell me, Phil, you're absolutely nuts for liking fixed setups. But I am such a fan because I'm a guy that wants to come out here, be on equal playing foot than the rest of the crowd around me. And I want to test my skills, knowing that these guys don't have, hundreds of hours built in a setup that's probably going to kick my butt anyways.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a great equalizer, as you say. A fixed setup, it makes it all about driver or how you find the lanes and different things out there on the Speedway. Like you said, coming up next here, we're not switching stream links. We're going to stay right live here on the same exact stream for the super late models here for the Dirt Slingin Outlaws super late models. So it's going to be a fantastic show here all evening long for the Dirt Slingin Outlaw guys as we're getting ready to set heat race number 2 on the way here off of turn number 4. Get ready to set that green flag out in the air. There's green flag in the air. The 25 on Spencer Swafford, the Hanover Wrecker Service sponsor machine, drives down into turn number 1. Oh, and around goes. I think that is the number 97 machine of Blake Heather going for a ride over there in turn number 3. And man, oh man, Massey even involved in that one, but Heather upside down, going to bring out the first yellow flag of the evening.
And that's going to put flip count on the network tonight, 2-3. as Blake Heather going to be our third of the night. The first of the ones over here at DSO is yellow flag coming out on the Speedway. Lap number 2 of 10 is Spencer Swafford. Adam Joseph races back to the flag. Joseph leading Swafford, Scott Schroyer, Steve Speece, John Hine. And the 2 cars back there, Blake Heather and Mike Massey rounding out the field. Todd, I'm not sure if you're back there to get a replay of that one, but I can tell you, I was watching Blake Heather's car, and that thing took a wild tumble up in the fence in the turns number 3 and 4.
Yeah, indeed, he took a wild tumble. Getting some messages here. Somebody wanting ice cream here tonight. But we're going to take a look here with Blake Heather, the 97H machine, another Hanover Record Service sponsored machine, and just drove it in deep and upside down, tumbling through the air, doing a spin cycle in the air, and then rolling it over. But back on all fours, Blake Heather went for a wild ride here tonight on Full Velocity Racing Network.
That is right. We're hopefully going to get ready to go back for a restart here, but somebody putting a message out there at Todd for ice cream. Do I have to go as far as sending you a message, Todd, to tell you I want ice cream? Can I do it in the Facebook live chat or the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat? Or can I just say, hey, Todd, I'd like some of that ice cream too, because I know we ran the gauntlet last night. You and Ron took us through 3 really great feature events with the guys over at Stars on Dirt for 4 features, and went over to DWR for an awesome race there at the same USA Speedway last night, then end of the night at Grassroots. You and Ron had the tag team going on over there all night long. I had Jack doing the controls for me. We carried the 4.5-hour show for the Ram Series US Short Track Nationals there last night. So ice cream sounds really good, because these vote records last night, they are screaming here as we head back here to USA once again this evening.
Yeah, definitely, Phil. Just watching here. Yeah, definitely want some ice cream myself. Yeah, I agree out there. Tim Christensen out there saying there's some good-looking cars out there, and a lot of guys are wishing the teams good luck here, and different things going on. Thank you, David Blackburton, for the star donations here tonight. He's been a star donator here the last couple of weeks on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Got to thank those guys. Also, guys, if you want to do us a huge favor, make sure you go out there, share the link out there on Facebook, and make sure let them know the Full Velocity Racing Network is larger than charge. Yes, we're up against the World of Outlaws, the NOS Energy World of Outlaws here by iRacing, but you want to see Full Fender Frenzy here, you've got to come over to Full Velocity Racing Network. So go out there, share the link all over the place, and get us some see some viewers come out here and listen to us. And well, we banter back and forth, Phil, as green flag back out here for heat race number 2.
We sure do. They may be the World of Outlaws, but they do not have the likes of Todd Stanton and Phil Lacaste, the best tag team in the business doing this racing stuff. So you want to have them come over here as we race back here at USA now, working lap number 6 of 10. And it is Adam Joseph up front of the 017, leading Spencer Swafford. Scott Schroyer, Blake Heather off that wild ride, Todd. He's already broke his way into the 4th spot, leading John Hine, but it is a 3-car break up front with Joseph and Swafford and Schroyer. They're going to come off of turn number 4. They are going to be single file up front, completing lap number 6.
Yeah, completing lap number 6. It is Joseph, like you said, Swafford for 2. Schroyer in the number 15 machine. Looks like one of my old Crush cars out there, Phil, in that number 15 machine. If you look at it really closely, it reminds you of something. It reminds you of having that 32 on the side of that machine, but the 15 is Scott Schroyer, your current third-place guy out there, but fantastic-looking car. It kind of reminds you of it. It's got a little bit different flair to it. But Schroyer now down to the bottom side, trying to take second away from Swafford.
Yeah, it sure is a nice-looking car. Brings back a lot of memories as well. That number 15 of Scott Schroyer running third. But Joseph and Swafford attempting to go out of here for the race lead as next time by here as we get off of 3 and 4. They're going to get popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more trips around the 3/4 mile here in Lakeland, Florida. As I just made the quick jump from Farmerville over to Lakeland, a really quick little puddle jump over here to get over here to this race this evening. But off of turn number 2, Adam Joseph leading Spencer Swafford. Scott Schroyer, they're going to stay in the train single file, a 3-car break up front. Now Schroyer, he's going to look to the low side off of 4 as we approach the white flag.
Yeah, white flag in the air for the number 017 of Adam Joseph. Swafford back down to the bottom side, trying to take over the top spot. Cannot get the bite down on the bottom side as they enter the box. Straightaway here at USA International Speedway. Into turn number 3, it's been all Joseph here in heat race number 2. Swafford's tried a couple different times, but off of turn number 4, picking up heat race number 2 is going to be the 017 of Adam Joseph. Spencer Swafford for 2, Scott Schroyer for 3. 4th is going to be Blake Heather. And we'll leave the rest up to the scorers.
And we sure will. Looks like John Hine will be there for fourth with Steven Spieth and Mike Massey running out our 7-car field here, which should, for all intents and purposes, do it here for the qualifications here this evening. Here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing. Glad you have tuned in tonight here, USA International Speedway, the first of 2 feature events for the guys at DSO. Pro late models with the fixed setup, super late models coming up next here as well. Here from USA, we're going to stay in this live stream all night, same channel, same place. So if you're here now, we'll be here all night for the next duration to take this one out. So we're here at USA here tonight, Todd. I got to say, it is really good to be back alongside you after a couple of days, and it's a very special week this week. I'm going to throw a link out there right now live on our Facebook Live, but we're racing for a cure this week with our guys over at TDR and SMO. I know this is something we've done a long time here as broadcasters, but this race for the cure is something near and dear to both of our hearts. I'm sharing that link out there now as we speak. We want to ask all these guys out there watching to donate to that, and I've also put that challenge out there to each league. A $10 donation representing your league. Make that donation to that link there. Send me an inbox message on our Full Velocity Racing Network Facebook page. Let us know that your league out there is representing. You're also going to join us in Racing for a Cure this week, just like we're going to do at our home base. When I go racing there Saturday night, we hope all leagues out there, Todd, will get involved. Because like we said, this is something we've done for a long time with our buddy Jamie Tedder from the Appalachian State University and the guys over at SMO. So Racing for a Cure this week, and we want to push that out there all week long. It's a really great, noble cause, because we all know cancer has touched our lives all in some way, shape, or fashion.
Yeah, definitely a great cause. We do it each and every year, and got to give out some support here from the Full Velocity Racing Network. I'd like to see everybody donate to that cause and get that as high as we can, and you know help it out just a little bit. Every little bit helps here, and maybe to find a cure out there. And as we're on board with the number 25 of Spencer Swafford, Northwest Racing Series, our onboard camera sponsor. As we're going on the back straightaway here with Spencer Swafford, just showing some different looks here in the warm-up session. About 50 seconds left to warm up before we go to the feature event for the Pro Late Models.
I'm sorry. I don't know if we're muted. If you threw it to me, I'm having a coughing fit.
No, we're not muted there, Phil. We didn't hear the coughing fit, at least, out there. We've just been riding around here with some of the cars, just giving the fans out there in Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch just some different looks here throughout the cars here, just showing the onboard cameras provided to us by Northwest Racing Series. But warm-up is about over here. 2 seconds left, and we're going to click it on over to the main event here for the Pro Late Models here, Dirt Slingin Outlaws. Don't forget, coming up next will be the Dirt Slingin Outlaws Super Late Models, and that'll be open setups coming up next here, live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. There's still time to sign up for that event. It is a $5 entry fee, but they do pay out to the points champion at the end of the year. Last year's points champion, not here in the house with us tonight, of one of those events. That was Jeremy Capron in the number 23. He's not here with us tonight, but we got a lot of cast of characters that were with us here last season. He's not able to make the full season, according to Scott, when we got a conversation. But don't forget, Dirt Slingin Outlaws, don't have to switch over to Stream Links. Super Late Models coming up next.
Absolutely right, but we have the Pro Late Models, Todd, about to take to the racetrack for their 30-lap feature event. So without further ado, let's get these guys started in their season. Let's go with the night's starting lineup.
Still paying homage to the old Full Velocity TV logos, but the starting lineup going to go away like this. Live from the USA International Speedway on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for eSport racing. Starting on the pole, driving the 04 machine, that's Fast Frank. Frank Gonzalez and his dancing brothers outside. Heat race number 2 winner, the 017 of Adam Joseph.
Row number 2, we find on the inside from the Stars on Dirt League, car number 55 of Steven Spieth, and alongside in number 25, Mudduck Racing Machine, the 25 of Spencer Swafford.
Another Mudduck Racing Machine driver of the number 44, also sponsored by Hanover Wrecker Service. Driver of the 44 machine, should say, Tyler Blankenship, and his dancing partner outside, one of the head admins here at the Dirt Slingin Outlaws, the Sidewinder, Scott Schroyer, aboard the number 15.
Rolling off next aboard car number 50, that is Brent Pryor, and alongside in the super fast car number 97, that is Blake Heather.
Inside row number 5, starting to 18th in the row 5, starting in the 9th starting position, driving the number 18. That is the Echo Brands Eddie Molnick's number 18 machine, rolling off 9th, and 10th is going to be John Hand aboard the number 75.
Rolling off of the 6th row tonight on the inside aboard car number 7, that is Justin Witt, and alongside piloting car number 66, that is Steve Speece.
Martin Cards rolls off in the 13th starting position with Michael Massey in the 45, rolling off 14th.
And scheduled to start shotgun on the field was car number 5, Mr. Excitement David Day. And do I see the 5 car? He has made his way out here to the Speedway here at the USA International Speedway. So Todd, we put the call out for 15. We've got all 15 out there, so 15 cars, 30 laps around. Strap yourselves in, folks, for one of the wildest thrill rides you'll get for your life here. 30 laps around the Pro Late Models. We are green flag racing into turn number 1. Frank Gonzalez and Adam Joseph are going to lead us down there.
Yeah, Adam Joseph immediately down to the bottom side. Here comes Steve Speece down to the bottom even further than Joseph, but the 4 Fast Frank out to the early advantage. Here comes Spencer Swafford to the top side into second in that number 25 machine. Oh, contact made, and Joseph makes contact with Swafford, and Swafford around hard into the outside wall.
And we got a parking lot ensuing over there in turns number 3 and 4 on the opening lap. There was contact to the left rear corner of the 25, and it was tough to see where the initial contact may have kind of come from. It looked like it may have been from the back of maybe the 15 of Schroyer getting a P, maybe Brent Pryor back. It was so close to call. They were all looking for real estate in turns number 3 and 4, but Spencer Swafford's 25 car, Todd, he took a wild ride.
Yeah, definitely taking a wild ride. This is Sam's Ford aerial coverage provided for tonight's race by Sam's Ford out there, as we're watching what happened to the driver of the number 25 machine. As you just watch him come down here into the corner, and Adam Joseph just misjudged the corner, got into the back bumper of Swafford. Around goes Swafford. More contact being made here. As a lot of cars involved in that. John Hand. You got the 15 Schroyer. Like you said, Phil, parking lot over here. A lot of cars involved in this one.
Sure was. I think we saw, you said John Hain, Adam Joseph back there. Steve Speece, number 66, looked like got a little piece of this as well. So, yeah, it was definitely a litter full of race cars over there in turns number 3 and 4 that puts us on our caution flag for the first time here for the USA International Speedway, now working lap number 3. But it gives us time here to thank our sponsor at the network, and we can't thank those guys enough. And of course, I talk about guys like our buddy Brendan Spadafora over at Spadafora Firearms. You're looking to purchase a new gun, expand on an existing one, maybe need ammunition, whatever else you may need. Check his great website out, SpadaforaFirearms.com. If you're a NASCAR fan, Brendan, there's a great little podcast thing over on YouTube. If you look up the name Full Throttle with the Gent, you will find Brendan over there. Great podcast done twice a week. And, of course, check him out, SpadaforaFirearms.com for your outdoor needs. Also, a big shout to our buddy Jeff Brown over at iRacing iFlag, doing a lot of great things over there with telemetry and the widgets, his iFlags. They make a great, addition to your sim racing rig. Check him out, iRacingIFlag.com. You want a nice new paint wrap out there? Well, look no further than our buddy Jim Revis over at Evil One Graphics. He's doing a lot of great stuff over in E1G Shop right now. Evil One Graphics, look them up on Facebook today. They are not only good, they are evil. If Jim's a little bit busy, you can also check out our buddy Jameson over at CNC Race Design. See, he's got his paint shop out there, busy moving into the new home office as well. Look the best at show on winning over dough. CNC Race Design. Join them today by looking them up on Facebook. As Todd, we go back to green here. Of course, our caution overlay tonight brought to you by our buddies over at DirtSeries.com. As we go back to green with Fast Frank and Steven Speece leaving the field now off of 4.
Yeah, Fast Frank down into turn number 3. We're just talking about Steve Speece, a defending champion here for the Pro Late Model division here. So already trying to get back on top of his saddle in that number 55 machine. Speeds down to the bottom side here of Gonzalez. Fast Frank now just up top, hits the wall. More contact made towards the back middle portion of this. And then we got some cars around over there. Still clean and green. No yellow flag as of yet. Waiting to see if that does come out. Is contact being made between Pryor and the number 4 machine. Here comes the 44 back down to the bottom side. Battle for the 3rd spot, and it puts the number 44 Blankenship into 3rd as yellow flag going to fly. So we were saying, Phil, the number 55 is Steven Spees, your current race leader. Last year's points champion here in the pro late models. The super late models was Jeremy Capron, and this is interesting. So Spees is in the house. Capron not in the house for the supers as of yet, but you may see him show up.
He absolutely may. And yellow flag now out for the 2nd time here at the USA International Speedway. It was definitely a parking lot once again over in turns number 3 and 4, and I couldn't believe it took almost 3/4 of a lap to throw the yellow flag out. It was not sure if a spotter had to, went down to the beer stand, maybe grabbed a hot dog, whatever it was, but there was definitely some carnage over there in 3 and 4, Todd. Take us back through it and show us what happened.
Waiting to see who it was. John Hayden, I believe, was involved in that one. These guys coming down onto pit road, and there was a lot of damage going on over there into the corner. As yep, here's the parking lot over here. Is the 75 with John Hayden coming down through here and maintaining the bottom side, and there was contact made up in front of him, and oh man, the 33 of Karch involved, the 3unit.ca David Day, the 97 of Blake Heather involved. Oh man, a lot of cars tore up in that one. They're going to have to come down pit road to try to get some of their damages repaired.
Yeah, absolutely. They go down on pit road indeed. Karch and David Day down there. John Hines, 75, got a piece, and even Blake Heather may have got yet another piece. That guy's having an exciting night back there aboard Carterman 97. As we're back under yellow here for the 2nd time. We're working lap number 8. 30 laps going to be the distance here is off of turn number 4. The lights go out around this 3/4 mile USA International Speedway, and we're going to go back to racing with Steven Spees and Brent Pryor up on the front row. Tyler Blankenship and Fast Frank Gonzalez should make up row number 2. Justin Witt, Eddie Monix in row 3. 4th row, we find Spencer Swafford back up in the 7th with Steven Spees, Adam Joseph, Blake Heather running out our top 10 as it looks like, Todd. This time in the back straightaway, these guys are cinching those belts up one more time. We're going to put these guys back under green flag racing now, working lap number 9. We get back to the line. There is going to be 21 laps to go. Still a long time to race around this 3/4 mile. What do you say we get back to it and throw the green flag this time off of 4?
The field is restacked, repacked, green flag in the air. The 55 of Steven Spees lines up and fires first down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Brett Pryor for 2. Fast Frank Gonzalez running that 3rd spot. Blankenship looks down to the bottom side once again. The 44 machine not going to be had. He settles for that 4th spot. Number 18 of Eddie Maltnex has worked his way up to 5th. So Maltnex is having a fast car, fast hot rod. They're in an Echo brand sponsored machine trying to do something with the rest of the field. Number 7 machine of Justin Witt holding on to that 6th spot.
Yeah, Justin doing a good job as they're back there racing there for 6th on back. You see Witt in there. You see Spencer Swafford. You've got the likes of Eddie Monix locked in that mix, too. That's a good race going on back there for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Monix holding on, but Witt and Swafford, they're going to pest all the back bumper of that number 18 car on Monix, that Echo sponsor machine, as they head down toward turn number 1. That is a great race going on back there for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, as Molnex gets into the back of the number 25 of Spencer Swafford, there just a tad bit, has to check up. So Molnex going to drop through the field just a tad bit in the number 18 machine. So he's going to lose a spot to Justin Witt for 6th. Meanwhile, back up front, it is all Steven Spees aboard that number 55 machine. Brett Pryor running in 2nd, Frank Gonzalez for 3. So those guys are your podium finishers as yellow flag going to fly once again over the field here at USA International Speedway.
No, I do not see yellow from a starter stand, Todd. I'm not sure if you're locked up again over there or whatever going, but we're still all green here. There's no flag out in the speedway. No, the yellow light has come on. We're still clean and green here, so I don't know if you saw something that I didn't see, but if I didn't see it, the starter didn't see it. Maybe you did. You got more cameras and better eyes than probably me, and maybe the other half of the 3 blind. Maybe Jack Chewin's up there doing the flagging. I'm not even sure.
Nah, not sure. The widget, not sure why it didn't change over from yellow to green. I guess so we were staying green flag racing because we thought the yellow flag came out. Maybe a premature widget malfunction there. Sometimes that happens. Beautiful technology. Have to go by what my screen says over on this side. So if it says yellow, that's what it is yellow, and I had to change it back here and forcefully make it go green.
Yeah, he had to force it down there, but we're still green here. But know who's not forcing his car right now is our race leader, car number 55 of Steven Spees, as he eclipses the halfway home mark, 15 down. 15 to go. Brent Pryor having a great run of the 50. He's in second. Frank Gonzalez, Tyler Blankenship, and Spencer Swafford rebounding from that spin early. Todd, he is back in the top 5, and he is digging. He's trying to chase down the back of the 44. Don't count out Spencer Swafford quite yet. He's got teammate Blankenship up ahead at 25. Looks to be really hooked up as they're still single file this time in the turn 1.
Yeah, you got 3 Mud Duck Racing cars right there grouped together. That's the 4 of Frank Gonzalez, Tyler Blankenship, and Swafford. Those guys, all Mud Duck Racing sponsored machines, so fantastic racing. So those guys know each other better than anybody else on the track as of right now. Swafford now looking over the 44 of Blankenship down to the bottom side. Slide job there by the 25 of Swafford in front of Blankenship. Blankenship fires back down to the inside, side by side for the 4th spot.
Yep, side by side, Blankenship down low, Swafford running up high as they drive it deep this time through turns number 3 and 4, and it looks like give that advantage off the turn to the 44 of Blankenship. But Swafford now, he going to try his hand to the low side. They'll go back door to door racing for second. A pair of teammates don't want to ruffle any feathers. We'll share some moonshine afterward. There's some really good moonshine down there in the Mud Duck Racing Camp, Todd. I recommend you go down there and take a sample of it after as we keep that race going on for 4th. Swafford now and Blankenship, maybe fast straight coming the races. They are squeezing the death out of each other. Swafford now up to 4th as we hit turn 1.
They're allowing each other to squeeze each other man, it's so close. As Swafford was in between the number 4 of Gonzalez and the 44 of Blankenship, able to move himself right into that 4th spot. Swafford now back up to the top shelf of the Speedway, makes some love to the wall over there in turn number 3. Swafford giving up a little bit of momentum. The 44 of Blankenship fires back down to the inside. Can't make anything happen. Settles for the 5th spot for now. In the 44, Swafford now sets the sights on the number 4 machine of Frank Gonzalez, the 4D. Meanwhile, up front, it is all Steven Spees with a almost second lead over Brett Pryor in the number 50 machine. But those two drivers having a great race here. Opening night here on the Dirt Slingin Outlaws Tour here for the Pro Late Models.
And I'm watching back here a good little race going on, Todd, for 6th on back with Justin Witt there. Scott Schroyer in the 15 in the mix as well. And also Schroyer and Eddie Monix, they were side by side from a couple of corners. Also Steve Spees in the mix as well, the number 66 car. So running back there from 6th to 9th, they are all nose to tail single file, but Schroyer going to peek his way to the low side under Justin Witt as they continue to go at it. A little bit of contact down the front stretch as Witt going to come back to the low side, firing back there in that battle for 6th.
Yeah, what a great race going on. The number 7 now fires back. Here comes Schroyer back down to the bottom, side by side, down the back straight away. Schroyer going to have the edge going into turn number 3 over Justin Witt in that 7 machine. So put Schroyer up to the 6th position. Meanwhile, still a nice battle going on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Swafford down to the bottom side there. Almost out of shape. And Blankenship gets into the back of him. And more carnage. Witt hits Swafford hard into the driver's door. And rollover count goes to 2 as Swafford upside down and he lands back on his wheels. But man, after a great race coming back from the tail, Swafford now going to be relegated back to the rear again.
And he took a savage hit there. I don't think Justin Witt had any reaction time or anywhere to go. And that number 7 car is Swafford's car. It did that little D-9-0 through the middle, got sideways, and just got absolutely T-boned. And it went upside down but back on his wheels. So I'm not sure, does that count as a full flip there, Todd? He went all the way up and over.
Yep.
I've almost considered that maybe the flip count 3.5 on the night. You call it 4, but we had 2 turtles. We haven't had a turtle over here yet.
Yeah, that would be a full flip when you land on your wheels. You start on your wheels, you end up back on your wheels. That is a full over. That is a flip there. So flip count up 2. I didn't see any more flips here. This is going to be flip count for 2 for the night here. I did not see any flips over in the other broadcasts there, Phil, but I'm sure you did. And like you're saying, it's up to 4 here tonight on Full Velocity Racing Network. And that's not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear the flips. You don't want to hear the carnage. You want to see great racing out there.
Not only did I see 2 flips earlier over at Hartod, we saw 2 consecutive turtles on the same lap and the same wrecks. Both cars ended up on their lid and stuck on their lid. I mean, I can't remember the last time we saw something like that in the airwaves, but said flip count tonight on the network. If you joined me a little while ago at Volusia over with the guys of Lahar, their UMP Modifying Series, we saw 2 flips over there, 2 more over here, so an even 2. So they've equaled what we saw over there in that, main event over there. We're, almost to the conclusion here. 5 laps remaining for the Pro Late Models for the guys over at DSO as So Todd, I can hear Todd down there. He's struggling here tonight. I'm struggling here tonight. The network was really out there in a big way with a simultaneous triple stream last night with Todd and Ron doing a great job running all over the gamut last night. Charles Wooten over at Racecore last night, and myself, we did the entire 4.5 hours of the U.S. Short Track Nationals with the guys at Ram. So I can say my voice is shot tonight. No, Todd, you're feeling it as well. We're both battling some colds up here in the Northeast as the weather just kind of seems to keep on changing. Warm, cold, warm, cold. Today, kind of raw and rainy. My throat's definitely feeling it. So I echo you.
I don't know where you're getting rainy. Well, we had rain earlier this afternoon, probably early morning, I should say, mid-morning. And then it warmed up to 73 degrees here today. And, man, another 30-degree swing. I don't understand it, and we're going to go back to that as green flag back out. The 55 Steven Spees out to the early advantage. Pryor running in second. Not sure what happened on that start of that race. And, oh, Scott Schroyer into the wall hard.
Schroyer up in the wall. Whatever reason, the 04 of Frank Gonzalez did not go. And that car just did not get up into gear, whatever happened, but it stacked up the entire field behind. A yellow flag going to come out on the racetrack. The unfortunate thing for this one, Todd, they're going to pick the pace car up, and they're going to get a 2-to-go signal behind the iRace.com pace truck. So off of turn number 4, this may indeed be the race back for the flag for the win. So Steven Spieth going to lead the field back to the line over Brent Pryor, Tyler Blankenship, Frank Gonzalez, and Mr. Excitement, David Day. He has cracked the top 5, and for all intents and purposes, I think that's going to do it for the pros here. Is we're going to take the yellow and the white together. I don't think we're getting this track cleaned up to go back to racing here in the pros.
No, definitely is. It's unfortunate here for the Pro Late Model Division as we're going to get ready for the victory lane ceremonies. Slingin Outlaws Super Late Model is going to be live here on the same exact stream, so don't anybody go anywhere. I know a lot of people like to leave when we go and do the interviews. The Super Late Models are going to be right directly after this, and we've been gaining a lot of guys into the TeamSpeak communication, so that one's going to be even bigger here tonight, I do believe, as the Pro Late Models are fixed setup, then you got the open setup, so it intrigues some of the other guys to come on out and play here. The USA International Speedway, they're down the back straightaway for the final time. Your points championship winner last season was a 55 of Steven Spieth. He's going to start off with the lead in the points here this season already. So what a great run here for the 55 machine, going to take down the victory here tonight with Brett Pryor for 2, Frank Gonzalez 3, David Day 4, John Hand for 5, Steve Spieth, Justin Witt, Adam Joseph, Spencer Swafford, Blake Either, Scott Schroyer, Eddie Molnex, Tyler Blankenship, Martin Karchin, Michael Massey. That is your 15-car field as they end here. And your race winner, like I said, driver of the number 55, Steven Spieth. We're going to talk to him down in Victory Lane, along with the other top contenders here in the top 3, the podium finishers, Brett Pryor and Frank Gonzalez.
We absolutely will. We'll get them here on the post-race show. We'll hop and talk to all 3 as we'll start dragging these guys by way of our TeamSpeak communication. And I think they're all kind of here to join us, which is always a great thing. So we'll run down here. We'll talk to our top 3 finishers here. You'll go down and get Steven Spieth at Victory Lane, and I will run down here, and we'll talk to C3rd and hopefully our second-place driver, car number 50 of Brent Pryor. So I think we're ready to lock and load here on the Full Velocity post-race show for the DSO Pro Late Models. And we find an old friend of driver of car number 4, Fast Frank Gonzalez, ending up 3rd here tonight. And it was an up-and-down night for the Pro Late Models, and you and your Mud Duck Racing teammates there, Frank, you guys had some really good racing going on. Unfortunately for Spencer and for Tyler, they got involved with some wrecking, but you got a good solid top 3 out of it. Tell us about your run.
It was all right. I mean, laid out a good qualifying lap, which lately I've been crap at qualifying, crap at heat races, was able to pull a win, and then there in the feature, I feel like I may have got moved a little bit. I don't know. I may have came down, but it's whatever. It's a racing incident. And there on the start, I feel bad. On that last restart, I was hitting the gas pedal and the car wasn't going, so I didn't know what was going on.
Well, you end up with a good, solid 3rd-place finish here. It's night number 1 of a points-paying, money-paying season for you guys. You all paid entry fee to get in, racing for cash here amongst the season here at the points payout. A 3rd-place finish is certainly not a bad way to start your season.
No, it's good. It's actually the best finish I had in a while, so I'll take it.
Well, yeah, I would take it as well. As I don't think in the racing endeavors I've done the last 6 weeks, I don't think I've cracked a top 10 yet. So I'd buy a third if I get one, Frank. But you get one here tonight live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're here tonight live, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV per usual. So I'm going to give you the mic one final time. Thank all those guys out there that may be watching. And congratulations once again, brother, on a good third place finish.
I appreciate it. I'd like to thanks our sponsors, Hanover Record Service. They do a lot for us. And then our newest sponsor we got about a month back, Hartfield and McCoy Moonshine. Check them out on Facebook. They got some good stuff there. If you're ever in West Virginia, go check them out. 187 Custom Calls for your deer calls or any duck calls. Check them out on Facebook. Stephen P. Repairs, Russell Brown Race Car, Border and Wayne Restoration, Aces and Eights, and then the whole Mud Duck stable was missing Joey and AJ tonight, but they have storms in their area, so they won't ever make it. So hopefully I made Joey proud, and hopefully I put on a good race for y'all, and hopefully it's my luck turning around.
I kind of hope it does for you, too, as well there, Frank. Well, congratulations. A good, solid third-place run. We'll let him get back to it. And them guys at Mud Duck Racing a debrief because they were racing each other pretty hard. But, hey, racing happens sometimes. We'll let Frank go, and we'll run a little bit further down here and see if we can't talk to the driver of car number 50, that being Brent Pryor. Brent, congratulations, man. A good, solid second-place run. Tell us all about it, man, as you had a really good, strong race car, it seemed like, all evening long.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me watching the speeds when we were practicing and doing the warm-ups and stuff. Everybody seemed quite a bit quicker than me, so it surprised me that I was that fast in the feature.
It's going to make you feel good. Of course, you come out here in a fixed setup, so there's not a whole lot of adjustability you can build into these things to make them kind of any different. So it's going to feel good to go toe-to-toe with some of these guys that are really good to get that good second-place finish. It's always going to have a fixed setup when you're on equal footing with these guys when you can try your skills out. I'm sure that's going to make you feel really good.
Yeah, it does. That's what that's when you see them times faster than yours, it's on the driver, so you're trying to figure out ways of getting in the corner and getting out.
And that's exactly how I always say. I get killed all the time because I'm a big advocate. I love fixed setup racing. I know the majority of the field out there and anybody out there probably, hey, Phil, you're absolutely nuts. Why can you like that stuff? You put us all as equal footing on drivers, who said. It puts us in our hands. But, Brent, awesome job here. A second-place finish. It's been quite a while since we've had you up here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitch TV. So anybody out there watching, you want to thank friends, family, or sponsors there, bud. The floor is all yours. And, again, congratulations on an awesome second-place finish.
I want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast and the Dirt Slingin Outlaws for promoting these races. It's the first time I've got to race with these guys, and it seems really good.
Yeah, it is a great league for sure. Scott Martin do a great job, folks. There you have it. Driver of car number 50, Brent Pryor, starting his season here in the Pro Late Models on the right foot. We'll let him get back down there and debrief with his team, but I'm going to throw this thing down to Victory Lane, and this guy, he's been doing a lot of this lately on the network, Todd. Steven Spees at Victory Lane. Take it away.
Down here in Victory Lane with the driver of the number 55 machine, Steven Spees, starting off where you left off last season, taking down the championship last season, and now you're going to come out of here with the points lead here early on in the season. Steven, tell us about your race and how you did it here tonight.
Yeah, really surprised. Actually, I usually am not real good here at USA. So thanks to the fixed setup on number one, and I don't know what happened with the cautions. It looked like some of the guys up front kind of got caught up in that very first caution, which gave me an opportunity to get out there. And then it was just, once you're out in front, you got clear track. You don't have to worry about what lane to try to pass somebody or whatever. It's just a lot easier. I saw Brent hunt me down back there. I was trying to find something to see if I could get away from him, but it looked like it was pretty even back there. Got a little nervous with the cautions, had to make a decision on starting inside or outside. Then whenever we got that next one, it went single file. I felt pretty good and just got to take it home. So super happy, didn't expect this at all.
Yeah, definitely a fantastic run here, bringing home the victory. And there's some different things going on here over at Dirt Slingin Outlaws. We're talking about the inside or outside, and Scott was talking to me about it a little bit earlier. How difficult is it now? You guys get to pick inside lane or outside lane. How difficult is it to pick a track like even USA or another track? Where do you want to go?
I never know. So I went ahead and took the inside because we do get to start on the leader on the restarts instead of having to wait for the green. If we had to wait for the green, I probably would have taken outside because that was kind of the more dominant line. But figuring since I got to start the race when I wanted, I'd be able to kind of sneak up there anyway, and didn't want anybody sneaking inside me. So I never know what to do. I just make a guess and just race for it.
Well, taking down another victory here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're going to give you the microphone. You should know this routine by now. We're going to give you the floor. Thank you. We'd like to thank you tonight.
Yeah, thanks to the Dirt Slingin Outlaws guys for putting the season on again. So had a lot of fun last year, so back for it tonight. Thanks always to the Stars on Dirt crew. They always give a lot of help and do a lot of practicing to make me kind of learn to handle this car and be a lot more consistent than I used to be. And thanks to all the folks tuning in and watching us. We greatly appreciate it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, driver from Stars on Dirt, Steven Spees here tonight, picking up the victory here in the Pro Late Models. Coming up next is the Super Late Models for the Dirt Slingin Outlaws, so don't go anywhere. Right, Phil? You want to stay and watch us here for the Super Late Models. It's going to be way different flavor here tonight for the Dirt Slingin Outlaws.
Absolutely right. They're going to do some open setups. The same racetrack, different race car though. The Super Late Models versus the Pros is going to be a little bit more powered. The handle is going to be a little bit different. They're going to have all the adjustability. So as we talked to Brent here a little while ago, we said fixed setups. It's going to be more in the driver's hand. Now it goes to the pit crews and all these guys that have spent hours and hours working on these setups. So we're going to be back here live. Give it about 10 or 15 minutes, Todd. We'll be back on the airwaves here live, so stay tuned. We'll take you through some practice here live on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. We will be back. We are back live here in Lakeland, Florida, U.S. International Speedway. We had some intermission time there between the pro late models and the super late models, but the time has come to get the track busy again here live as qualifying is now underway. So we take you back aboard here tonight live, Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing live this evening, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. So welcome you back with the Todd and Phil Show, convening once again this evening back at DSO, and Todd are right in the middle of thralls of qualifying. Quick Kurt time at the top of the board. Spencer Swafford, a 21.352. That is just all in the mail around here. 3/4 mile flat racetrack here in USA. That is a blazing fast lap, and I am itching to get going here with these super late models. Open setup racing this time versus the pros where we saw fixed setup racing. This puts all the adjustability in these guys' hands.
Yeah, definitely. Spencer Swafford, like you said, at top of the leaderboard, 21.353. Nathan Kessler, 21.512. And Scott Schroyer right now, 21.623. You can see it on the left-hand side of your screen, right underneath the Dirt-Series caution overlay here for qualifying efforts. As these guys is driving around here at USA International Speedway, trying to be up top. And now second place, David Day. Day was up to second fastest, now dropped back down to third fastest with 21.497.
Yeah, pretty good lap there for the 5 cars. He went up there third on the board, but Nathan Castle jumping back in that second spot, a lap of 21.495, and that is just barely breaking the 21.5 bracket. David Day did as well, 21.497. That just puts the emphasis there on that pole lap so far. Quick time, a 21.352 by Spencer Swafford. That is just all in the mail. These guys got 4 laps to get it done, but you could take 440, 400. I'm not sure anybody out there is going to touch that 21.35. That is a blazing fast lap.
Definitely a fast lap out there, Phil. Is these guys still going around the track? I believe David Day still out there running around here in the 5.3unit.ca, Mr. Excitement. Trying to better his lap, not going to be able to do so here as we're looking through just to see who else is out there. On the Speedway, Swafford out there just sitting there. Frank Gonzalez. Looks like pretty much everybody has put in their lap times here for the super late models.
Yeah, we're starting to click down on time. Looks like about a minute and maybe a 30 seconds here away from getting this thing into heat racing action. There's a couple more cars kind of taking some last spills here at bettering their lap times here. Is see one being down the front straightaway. Looks like Frank Gonzalez out there making laps aboard car number 04. His last time around, a 21.866. His best time, a 21.741. But that's going to put the 04 back there. Looks like on the outskirts of the top 10. That looks like probably about 11th or 12th by the time settle out. So as we get down to these last precious seconds here in qualifying, they all get 4 laps within a 5-minute cycle, and said nobody so far has broken those brackets of 21.3s except Spencer Swafford, Nathan Castle, David Day, both putting in 21.49s. Then you go back to Scott Schroyer, a 21.623, putting him fourth quick, 21.626 for John Hine and the number 75 car. So that's your current top 5, and or all intents and purposes, Todd, I don't really see that changing too much. It looks like everybody's got their qualifying laps kind of complete. I think a couple of guys out there now just kind of making some throwaway laps and maybe testing other setups a little bit.
They're definitely using this part of the session here as we got 25 seconds left of the qualifying session before we go heat race number 1. Like you said, they're probably out there just tuning on their setups, getting ready for heat racing action. Some of these guys, like Frank Gonzalez, qualified 11th quick, so he's going to have to try to get his setup a tad bit faster for his liking here tonight. So we'll see if fast Frank can back up his podium finish from the pro late models. Again, super late models open setup, so it's going to be rather different here for all these drivers. And it's a different animal. There are a lot bigger motors. There are more horsepower. And it's going to be a lot to handle here tonight at the USA International Speedway.
Yeah, and I got to ask you, Todd, if you go out there in qualifying, you make the fastest lap all night, well, what is your next trick out there? Well, Spencer Swafford, he takes out there to our Facebook Live chat, throwing up a double horns with that quick time. So, hey, that's one way to do it. If you're out there still watching us tonight live, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV, do us all a favor. Like our link out there. Share it out there. let everybody know that Dirt Slingin Outlaws are live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing tonight at the U.S. International Speedway. We're now the first of three heat races, three here for the super late models going to take to the Speedway. So I'm going to put this thing over to my brother Todd, and we're going to take you through our starting lineup for heat race number 1.
Heat race number 1 is going to be up in the left-hand corner. Spencer Swafford driving the number 25 is going to roll off in the number 1 spot. His dancing part of the outside driving the number 15. That's the Sidewinder, Scott Schroyer.
In row number 2, going to be car number 97. That is Blake Heather. And alongside, in the number 7, that is Justin Witt.
Steve Spees rolls off in the 5th starting position in the number 66. And Gary Bunzing in the number 77 machine going to roll off 6th.
So there you have it. We got 6 drivers out there for a heat race distance of 10 laps here around this 3/4 mile dirt version of the U.S. International Speedway iRacing. Did this one up. This track I don't think ever was once a dirt version. I knew it for pavement forever, going back to the days of the American Speed Association. The ARCA Racing Series raced there for years as well. Great little short track here in Lakeland, Florida. I do not believe it's still operational yet today, but it was a cool little joint, 3/4 mile distance, long straightaways, those flat sweeping corners. Made some really good racing here in iRacing. Knocked this track out of the park when they brought this one to life in a dirt variety. So going to take you through 10 laps here. Can kind of be trying on equipment. A really good way for these guys to tune on these subs a little bit more, because they got 40 laps to put down in our main event coming up here in just a little while. But we're about to put heat race number 1 to its start with Spencer Swafford, Scott Schroyer, Blake Heather, Justin Witt, Steve Spees, and Gary Bunch in our 6-car field. Todd off of turn number 4. I believe we're going to send these things loose. We're going to Green Flag Racing's at iRacing.com. Pace truck has surrendered its way for cover.
And just waiting on the flagger to throw the green flag. They're rolling here. Start, finish, camera. Green flags in the air, and we're racing down into turn number 1. The 25 of Spencer Swafford down to the bottom side. Scott Schroyer up top of the 15. Look at that rocket off the corner of the 15. Schroyer takes over the lead.
Scott Schroyer going to lead him now into turn number 3, working on the opening lap of the race, putting our pole sitter down to the 2nd spot now. Car number 25, Spencer Swafford, Blake Heather, Justin Witt. They race for 3rd and 4th there, but a 2-car breakaway going on up front. Now the 97 of Heather trying to chase those guys down for the 3rd spot, but it is all Scott Schroyer. He leads the field off of 2.
Yeah, leading the field off of turn number 2 is in heat race number 1. Swafford back down to the bottom side by side for the top spot. Schroyer hanging on to it, though, closing the door down into turn number 1. Swafford back down to the bottom, trying to get the momentum down on the bottom, the forward bite, but it's still Schroyer in that number 15 machine as they go down the back straightaway.
Schroyer leading, but Spencer Swafford going to take one more swing down this time to turn number 3 and 4. Drives it deep through the corner, tries to let it push up a little bit. Schroyer's still there on the outside lane as they continue to battle door to door for the race lead down to turn number 1 and 2. Swafford down low. Look at that run. Schroyer gets up high using that big motor of that 15 car. They're door to door off of 2. Give it to Swafford by a nose as they hit turn 3.
Yeah, Swafford able to pull the slide job maneuver here through 3 and off of turn number 4. Gives this lap to the number 25 of Spencer Swafford. Scott Schroyer going to be for 2, but not going away in that number 15 machine. Blake Heather up to 3rd, and that number 97 machine gets a tad bit loose through 1 and 2, but Heather holding on to 3rd.
Yeah, Heather going to hold on to 3rd, and right behind him, he's got the 66 car of Steve Spees, the 7 car of Justin Witt. Those guys just waiting to pounce on a mistake by the 97 cars. They still continue to run single file there, and single file back for the lead between Swafford and Schroyer. Schroyer keeps trying to peek down to the inside, but we know that 25 car has a rocket underneath him. He continues to lead the field. The entire field, Todd, 6 cars deep, all single file. Swafford and Schroyer going at it for the race lead, this time now off of turn number 4.
Yeah, as we got 4 laps remaining as they flash by that start-finish line, it's Swafford with a car length advantage here going into 1, but Schroyer closes that gap back down to the bottom side. Just can't get something working. No momentum on the bottom there. Schroyer knew the top shelf was where to be. He's been working over the bottom, though, trying to get back by Swafford. Not able to do so through 3 and off of turn number 4. Flashing by that start-finish line, 3 to go.
3 more trips around for 25. Can he hold on to the 15? And looking back here, this little race for 3rd, it was starting to heat up there for a second. Heather, the number 97, had his hands full with Speed, the number 66 car. Steve kept peeking down to the low side, got a little tad bit loose. That may open the door for the 7 car of Justin Witt. Justin going to dive to the inside. They're going to be door to door off of 4, racing for the 4th spot.
A great battle going on for the 4th spot, like you said. Witt down to the bottom side there momentarily. Looks like Speed's able to keep him at bay in that number 7 machine, so Speed's going to be comfortable here in that 4th spot for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, up front, they're going to get the white flag off of turn number 4. It's going to be the 25, especially Swafford getting that white flag. Scott Schroyer for second, going to see if he's got anything left in the tank in reserve there through turns 1 and 2. It does not seem to be had so far as they enter the back straightaway for the final time here. And heat race number 1, it has been all Swafford as soon as he got back out to the lead, lengthening that lead over the number 15 to Schroyer. Schroyer throws one more monkey wrench, not going to be able to do it though. And off of turn number 4, picking up heat race number 1, it's going to be the 25 of Spencer Swafford. Scott Schroyer for 2. For 3, Blake Heather.
Blake Heather in for 3. Give 4th to Steve Spees. 4th to the 7 car of Justin Witt. 5th was rounding out there. Steve Spees for 4th. Justin Witt for 5th. And Gary Budson, our 6 car field there for heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 about to pull its way out to the racetrack with 6 more hungry drivers taking their way around for 10 more laps. So what do you say we go to our starting lineup here? On the pole is going to be car number 21 of Nathan Kassler, and alongside the number 75 car, that's John Hine.
Inside row number 2, starting the 3rd star position driver in the Hanover Wrecker Service number 44. That's Tyler Blankenship, and his dancing partner outside his teammate. That is fast Frank Gonzalez aboard the number 04, rolling off 4th.
In that 3rd and final row, we find the inside car number 99. We welcome back to the network Dan Collinsworth, and alongside in the number 45, that is Mike Massey. So we have 6 drivers out there on the call. I believe we got all 6 out to the racetrack, and these 6 drivers will take their stab around this 3/4 mile track here for their 10-lap heat race. So glad you guys have all tuned in live tonight. Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing. Todd and Phil out here tonight. Our buddy Charles Wooten, he'll be live here in probably about 60 minutes or so. He's got the Northwest Racing Series tonight, their Xfinity Series, and be staying tuned over there because Charles will have links out there live here shortly for Facebook Live and YouTube as well. So check out our buddy Charles and his dual stream, a part of a quadruple header here tonight for the network here. Todd, I was over here earlier tonight over at Hard Motorsports for their Dirt Modified Series race there from the Volusia Speedway Park. You and I over here at DSO for the Pro and now the Super Late Model Racing action. And our buddy Charles is going to cap off tonight, late night variety with the Northwest Racing Series tonight with the Xfinity cars. How about this Full Velocity Racing Network? The monster that is starting to create from this place. 4 streams in one night after going, 5 deep last night. It doesn't get better than what we're doing right now live on the network. Yeah, and you got to watch out there in Facebook Live there, Phil, because you're going to be able to get free stars here coming up. As longer you watch, you'll see the free stars. You're able to donate them to that particular stream. The more hours that we stream, the more stars you can get for free out there. But if you have not done it so here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, make sure you do so. If you like what you see here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing, make sure you hit up some star donations here on Facebook Live. Make sure you share our link out there too. Let everybody know we're live here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Get ready to go green flag here in heat race number 2. Green flag's in the air. We're racing. It is Nathan Kassler down to the bottom side there in the number 70. I thought it was the 21 machine. Excuse me, the 21 machine up on the top side. The 75 machine is down to the bottom side there in the number 75 machine. So they're side by side for that top spot. It is Nathan Kassler giving way there to the 75, but going crossover down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Now on the bottom side, Kassler in that 21C machine. Yeah, he's trying to make it happen. We're looking at that car from the 3rd spot. That 44 of Tyler Blankenship now going to work his way down to the inside of Nathan Kassler. They go door to door there off of 4 for that 2nd spot. But up front, John Hines, 75 car, he's going to lead the field. But Blankenship continues to go out of him and Kassler. They continue to race door to door. Kassler using that big motor on the outside, using the cushion up high. Nathan Kassler will hold on a second. But here comes Tyler fighting back. Door to door on the backstretch.
Blankenship has an advantage on the bottom side there through turn number 3. Is Blankenship trying to catfish it off of turn number 4? Can he get that forward bite? Nope. Kassler's going to hang on to that 2nd spot down the front straightaway here into turn number 1. Blankenship back down to the bottom side by side. Battle with Kassler again. They are not going away. It's a pretty heated battle for that 2nd spot down the back straightaway.
Sure is. Kassler versus Blankenship going door to door, swapping some dirt out there. been laying, no contact between the two. This is really great racing this time off of turn number 4 as we complete lap number 4. And up there leading John Hine, trying to drive away from these guys. He's got 5 car lengths now off of turn number 2. Nathan Castle ripping the lip up high. Tyler Blankenship catfishing it down low. This is a great battle, Todd. Nobody giving an inch of this race for a second as it continues on, this time off of 4.
Can't take our cameras off here at the Full Velocity Racing Network. There's a battle for that second spot, like you said, Phil. It's not going away. Blankenship down to the bottom. Oh, contact made between Castler and Blankenship there. Now Castler into the outside wall. The 21C machine. That's going to give way to the 44. The Blankenship to the second position as Castler and the 44 Blankenship had that minute contact there. They allowed Castler to hit the outside wall, and the 44 Blankenship able to motor by into that second spot.
Sure is. Put Tyler's 44 car up to third. They are going at it back there for the 4th spot, Todd. Frank Gonzalez back there having a whale of a race with Dan Collinsworth at 99. Mike Massey's also back there as well in the 45. Those guys were side by side back there for 4th. They continue to go. So Frank's back there. Dan Collinsworth, he was down low as they make me a liar. Frank Gonzalez holding on to 4th this time off of 4. But that's been a good race back there as well.
Yeah, Collinsworth has looked down to the bottom side here at number 99 a couple of different times. Looked up top to try to get around the 4D of Frank Gonzalez. And Gonzalez's car does not seem to be handling like it did in the Pro Late models here, as Gonzalez seems to have quite a bit of a handful through the middle portions of the corner. Here comes Dan Collinsworth. Slide job through turn number 3. Put Collinsworth up to that 4th spot.
Yeah, and that car, you can see it. It steps out evil off the corner. Almost allowed Frank to make the run back on the outside. Give it to Dan Collinsworth. Now Frank going to come back to the bottom. As you can see, that 99 is just evil. These guys really going at it. Really clean for the most part. Now they make a little bit of contact, as I call it, clean off of 2 as they go back. And looks like this time by Todd, our race leader, John Hine, going to take the white flag on the field. These guys still continue to go back out of here for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, exchanging blows, but this time Massey now into the fray, trying to get up to that 4th spot in the 45 machine. He goes to the outside. Looks like something to miss on Frank Gonzalez's machine. Also the 99 of Collinsworth. So it looks like Michael Massey going to take over the 4th spot. But coming off of turn number 4, picking up heat race number 2, going to be the number 75 of John Hain. And then second going to be the 44 Tyler Blankenship. Third going to be Nathan Castler. 4th is going to be Mike Massey, Dan Collinsworth, and the number 04 of Frank Gonzalez. Going to round out your 6 cars here in heat race number 2.
We saw some good racing there over the course of 10 laps here, so 2 really good action-packed heat races here, and 1 more left to come. This one here looks like I think we're going to see 5 or maybe 6 more cars. 5 cars going to make up our heat number 3 lineup, so we'll take you here through our front row on the pole. Going to be car number 5, Mr. Excitement, David Day, and alongside in the number 55, that is Steven Spees.
Rolling off in the 3rd starting position, driving the number 33, that's the high side hustler, Martin Karch. And that's Nancy Barton outside, driving the 017, that's Adam Joseph.
And rounding out our field here tonight will be car number 524, the Missile. Mike Budson rolling off from P5, so there you have it. 5 more drivers going to take their trek around for 10 more laps around this USA International Speedway, and then it's going to be time, Todd, for looks like for a 40-lap feature event. The Bubbles here said top 4 going on through the heats here tonight, but I'm going to assume with the car count here, I think maybe all these guys start here as it looks like 6 and 6 is 12 and 5 is 17. So I got to believe, if I'm a betting man, I think all 17 cars will be trackside for our 40-lap main event that should be coming up at the conclusion of this 10-lap heat race number 3, our final one of the night.
Yeah, definitely. Final one of the night. Going to see what's going to happen. I do believe we're going to have just a feature event here this evening here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. 3 different heat races, though. We have 6, like you said. We have 17 cars here for the super late models. That 3unit.ca number 5 machine, the Mr. Excitement David Day, going to roll off on the pole. Steven Spees in the number 55 is outside of him. Remember, he's looking for a clean sweep here tonight. The Dirt Slingin Outlaws. He won the Pro Late Model event here earlier, and he said it's not one of his favorite tracks. We're going to start outside pole here in heat race number 3.
Absolutely right. David Day, Steven Spees, Martin Karch, Adam Joseph, and Mike Budson going to be our front row here. Final qualification tonight. We've seen a lot of them here over the course of 3 dirt track races the course of the evening, but we're going to set this one sail. iRacing.com page truck makes its way in. Field looking over. David Day going to lead up to green as we hit turn number 1 and 2. Steven Spees, the 55. They're going to be door-to-door through the corner for the first time.
Heat race number 3, 10 laps will be the distance. Karch down to the bottom side. David Day says not so fast. Oh, Karch around into the 33 all by himself. And that number 33 machine, so gosh, tough break for the number 33 machine. He was down to the bottom side, trying to get around David Day, could not pull it off. There, the number 33 machine relegated back to 5th. We'll see if he's being able to capitalize as Steven Spees rolls off into that 4th spot. The number 55 machine, not the start he wanted either. But meanwhile, up front is David Day by a whole gaggle of cars. I'm going to say 10 to 15 car lengths over the 017 of Adam Joseph.
Yeah, David Day leading about 10 car lengths, as you said, off of turn number 4. That race for second may become a good one. Adam Joseph, the missile, Mike Budson back there in 3rd, and then you see that racing back there for 4th between Steven Spees at 55, Martin Karcher at 33. Those guys have fallen back after that contact, but it is all David Day up front. Mr. Excitement, we have called his name in the lead many, many times over the years, but this race for second, Todd, it is now a good one. Budson going to peek to the inside of Joseph. Adam going to carry that momentum offside as we head to turn 1.
Yeah, Joseph still hanging on the top side of the speedway there. That 017 machine into the 2nd spot still. Mike Bunson able to hold on to a 3rd. Steven Speed starting to chase down the second and 3rd place driver, should say the top echelon of this heat race number 3. As this is the 3rd and final heat race here of the evening. Dirt Slingin Outlaws for the Super Late Model Tour here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing here. And fantastic racing we do got going on here, Phil. The super late models, and right now it is David Day, Mr. Excitement, there, that number 5 machine just pulling away from the 017.
He certainly is trying to drive away and hide here as we're halfway home here. 5 laps in, 5 laps to go for that black and orange car number 5 of David Day, now off the exit of turn number 2. Racing in there for second, Adam Joseph. What I thought was going to be a race for second, he's pulled 3 car lengths now on the 524 of Mike Bunson. Mike may fall into a battle here with himself, between himself and the 55 of Steven Spees, who was from that earlier contact, has run down the 524. We might not be done racing yet for that podium spot in our final heat race.
These guys are pretty much stayed single file here, and it looks like they are just holding on to every inch of real estate that they can gather. But Spees in the number 55 machine starting to reel in that 524 as we flash by that start-finish line for 3 laps remaining here for the number 5 of David Day. Second is still the 017 of Adam Joseph. Mike Bunson, the missile, holding on to that 3rd spot, but Spees really breathing down his neck in that number 55 machine as they enter the back straightaway. And off of turn number 4, David Day, Mr. Excitement, going to pick up popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more trips around USA International Speedway.
Yeah, those guys are almost close enough to share the same piece of gum in a turn number 3 and 4 this time. Was the number 524 of Mike Budson and the Steven Spees number 55 down low as they race out off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway this time by, though, Todd, off of turn number 4. Race leader David Day is going to be greeted by the starter with a white flag in hand. 1 more trip around for that very fast car number 5 off the pole, trying to lead this one from wire to wire. Adam Joseph in there for second, Mike Budson 3rd, Steven Spees for 4th, and Martin Karcher out there lapping the racetrack, running in the 5th and final position, but off of turn number 3 and 4 for the final time in qualifying here tonight. Heat race number 3 is going to go to David Day. Adam Joseph going to finish up for 2. Budson there for 3. Spees for 4. Martin Karcher, our top 5 here for the USA International Speedway. That should do it, Todd, for all intents and purposes for our qualifications. It should be about time to fire these guys up for their 40-lap feature event, and I am itching to go.
Yeah, definitely itching to go as these guys have a little bit of a warm-up here for Dirt Slingin Outlaws. About 2 minutes and 50 seconds left of that warm-up here. You guys can make last-minute adjustments, maybe take a potty break here in between, and the super late models will be out on the track, and then we'll stack and pack them there and see what's going to happen, who's going to take down the victory here in the 40-lap main event here for USA International Speedway live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
Absolutely right. We get ready, set to launch here for a great night here to cap it off for Phil and Todd's coverage here from DSO. 40 more trips around, but got to thank our sponsors here, of course. Live at the network, we thank guys like Brendan Spadafora over at SpadaforaFirearms.com. Jeff Brown over at iRacing iFlag. Got to thank our Jim Revis over at Evil One Graphics. Jameson Colbridge at CNC Race Designs, and our buddies Josh Smith and Earl Clements over there at DirtSeries.com, our presenting caution sponsor tonight here live for the Full Velocity Racing Network for the DSO guys here. U.S. International Speedway about to go green in about 90 seconds or so. So what do you say, Todd? We throw this thing trackside. Let's pay homage to this great country, the United States of America, in the playing of our national anthem. All right, live here in Lakeland, Florida. I've been in Florida here all night long. The weather is great. The racing action is hot as always, and we are about set to go here for 40 laps around for the Dirt Slingin Outlaws, opening up their seasons here tonight. The Pro Late Models a little while ago, won by Steven Spies. It was right here live on this stream, so don't go back looking for another one because we're live in the same one all night long for the pros. And now the Super Late Models going to take their turn to this 3/4 mile flat speedway here in Lakeland, Florida for their 40-lap main event. So Todd Stanton, what do you say? What do you say we do this old school style and go straight into our starting lineup for our feature event?
And now your starting lineup for the USA International Speedway Race Dirt Slingin Outlaws Super Late Model Series here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for esports racing, a division of RaceOnTexas.com. Walls Beer Code, Beard Bomb, our current sponsor here for the lineup. Starting on the pole, driving the number 25, drive out of the Mud Ducks Racing Stables, Spencer Swafford. Swafford aboard the number 25, and John Hand going to roll off in the second position in that number 75.
Rolling off of the inside of row number 2 aboard car number 5, the 3-unit Team CA sponsor number 5, that is David Day. And alongside in the Dirt Slingin Outlaw, car number 15, that is Scott Schroyer.
Rolling off in the fifth starting position, the Hanover Wrecker Service number 44, that's Tyler Blankenship. And his dancing partner outside out of Stars on Dirt Stable, the 017, that's Adam Joseph.
In row number 4 on the inside, we find the driver of car number 97, that is Blake Heather. And alongside in the 21C, that is Nathan Kassler.
Inside row number 5, that is the Missile. In the 524, that's Mike Bunsen. And outside of him is the number 66, that's Steven Spies.
Rolling off tonight from row number 6 will be driver of car number 45. That is Mike Massey. And alongside in the 55, he won our Pro Late Models a little while ago. That's Steven Spies.
Rolling off in the 13th starting position, usually an unlucky number, but the number 7 of Justin Witt rolling off 13th and rolling off 14th. And the number 99, that's Dan Collinsworth.
Next up will be car number 33, the high side hustle, Martin Karch, the 77 car of Gary Bunsen, and shotgun on the field, the 04, Fast Frank Gonzalez.
We called for 17 cars out there. We have all 17 cars gridded, locked and loaded here for the Dirt Slingin Outlaws Super Late Model Tour here. First night here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Make sure everybody out there and YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook share our link. Let everybody know Full Velocity Racing Network is live with the Super Late Model Tour here. It's going to be one fantastic show. Like we said, Swafford going to be your pace setter here early on. The going 40 laps will be the distance for the A main here. USA International Speedway, the site here for the first event here tonight of 8 races here for the super late models. So cannot wait as this field is restacked and repacked. The iRacing.com safety truck getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn down to pit road, and we're going to send these guys on their way off of turn number 4. Just going to have to wait on that head flagger to throw the green flag here on the initial start. It is Swafford Hand. Those guys waiting to set that pace, waiting to put the loud pedal down. Loud pedals down, green flags in the air. The number 25 of Spencer Swafford leads the charge down to the 1. Side by side for the race lead already here. 3 wide for third.
3 wide for third back there with David Day, Scott Schroeder in the middle. Car to the inside, I believe, was Tyler Blankenship of 44. Getting high, wide, and handsome out here. 3 wide back there for third on back in the opening lap off of turn number 4. Completing lap number 1. Your race.
Oh, big wreck down the front straightaway.
We have a pile up here, a parking lot in the front stretch, and this one tore up almost the majority of the entire field.
Yeah, we were riding with the 5 of David Day, and we have a Turtle, the 3unit.ca machine, the 5, Mr. Excitement. That's why we called him Mr. Excitement. He went for a wild ride down the front straightaway, and there was some other carnage going on there. As Heather working over the bottom side as David Day and Scott make contact, and Scott gets into Heather. Heather upside down. He gets his pilot license in the 97 machine. Oh, man, Heather able to land back on all fours. Not so lucky for the number 5 machine of David Day. He goes up and over. He roof surfs and just lays there. Turtle. So he does not do a complete over for the number 5 machine. But Heather involved, Adam Joseph. A lot of cars involved here on the front straightaway.
Yeah, it tore a whole bunch of them up there. Hopefully none of them too severe and have to come to pit road with some damage. With David Day taking probably the wildest of ride there. The old Turtle aboard car number 5, and I think that puts the flip count to that even 5 now, Todd. So we've seen a lot of those upside down tonight, but it's dirt racing. I guess they say the old thing, racing kind of happens, and a 5 car, you know, we call him Mr. Excitement for that reason. It's usually exciting when he's around, and this time he was providing all the picture right there. Multiple cars tore up here. Is Spencer Swafford now going to lead the field here with Tyler Blankenship, John Hine, Scott Schroeder, and the missile, Mike Bunson. He's found his way up to a top 5 here now, working lap number 4 under yellow, and I think we should be back to green flag racing and maybe a lap from now. So let's get back to it.
Yeah, showing some different angles of the replay here. We're riding on board with Heather. You rode on board a couple of times. The view for the number 97. We're going to take one more view, and we want to ride with David Day here and see what he's seen. As, man, it was not pretty here for the 5 machine. He did not know what was going on, and he just, lots of grass. See, lots and lots of grass, and, man, it's not even green. It's got some brown in it. What the heck are these guys doing at USA?
I don't know. I mean, it's better than Uke tires, I guess, that grass down there. But, hey, tear it up. I don't know if I want to tear it up because you give more dirt down there, these guys may think it's raceable. There's no grip on that grass. I can tell you from experience. You get down there, it is like ice. Don't recommend it. That's why guys like me sit up here in the booth here and give you the dialogue here night after night on the Full Velocity Racing Network. And so happy to be alongside here my tag team partner of so many years, Mr. Too Tall Todd Stanton, the Phil and Todd Show, live and in your face here tonight, doing it better than anybody else does. We're live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Is off of turn number 4. We go back to green flag racing, and Spencer Swafford off the high lane. He's going to lead the field back into turn 1.
Yeah, these guys, it's new to this year. Spencer Swafford able to get the choice of lanes this time. He picks the outside. He's able to fire first off the corner, too. So Swafford out to the advantage with the number 44. Blankenship running in that second spot. He's closing the gap. Here comes the 15. It's Scott Schroyer running in that third spot.
Schroyer there in that 15 car running in third. Spencer Swafford trying to drive away from Tyler Blankenship. Now Schroyer going to try to peek to the inside of the 44 off of turn number 2. Thought he may have the run there, but you can see, and it always seems to be the case on this racetrack with these flat corners, you can get that car wind up on the top side. You really have to seem to overdrive the race car. I'm not sure what you can do different to drive up through the inside, but I see a couple of cars back there bouncing off each other. Mike Bunson may have just got shot out of the way from Nathan Castler, the number 21 car. Put Nathan now up into the top 5.
Yeah, Nathan Castler, a man on the move. And then number 21 machine, just watching things that are going on. John Hain in the number 75, also starting to look down to the inside of Scott Schroyer. That would be a battle for that third spot. So racing is starting to heat up just a tad bit. We're on lap 9 of 40, so we have 31 more laps to go here on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
Sure do. Off the corner, it is all Spencer Swafford trying to drive way up front, but we just talked about battle going on for that third spot between Schroyer and Hain. Now put a battle there for the second spot as Schroyer has found himself back in a battle with Tyler Blankenship. As those guys, it's a good 3-car battle going on for that second spot. Nathan Castle on the outside looking in, trying to make it a fatal 4-way there for that runner position, but Spencer Swafford, Todd, where is he at? I think by the time we find him, he may be up the halfway up the East Coast, because that 25 car, he is hooked up. He's got 15, 20 car lengths, almost a full straightaway here, which is big when you come there off of turn number 4 this time.
3-wide battle going on for the second spot here, or the second spot. John Hain down to the bottom side, able to get around Scott Schroyer. Side-by-side battle for position number 2. Number 44 of Tyler Blankenship doesn't want to give that one away. He's not going away without a fight. John down to the bottom side here, going to be able to capitalize, take over that second spot. And the number 75 machine wrestling it away from the 44, Tyler Blankenship. The 15 of Scott Schroyer still running in fourth, but he's getting pressure now from Nathan Kassler. The number 21 machine, like you said, Phil, Spencer Swafford not in his own zip code, but he's in his own area code. It's twice as big as that zip code.
Yeah, and he may be in a different time zone by the time this is done. That car is on the move now off of turn number 4. We're going to complete a dozen laps into a 40-lap main event. Spencer Swafford somewhere in the middle of time and space out there aboard car 25. Tyler Blankenship doing a great job right now holding off Scott Schroyer in a battle for third. John Hine. I've watched John the last couple of weeks here over the Stars on Dirt, his home league. He is really starting to run really good here in these super late models, and he's doing it again tonight. 75 car up for second. We are racing back there. Schroyer now up to third. Blankenship and Nathan Castle resume a good battle. They're racing a fourth this time now off of 2.
Yeah, Blankenship couldn't keep it off the wall just a few moments ago, and that lost his spot to the number 15 of Scott Schroyer. You know, Tyler Blankenship looked like he was trying to run it in kind of deep. And the 44 machine just up and over that cushion up on the top shelf of the Speedway, was able to lose one spot, able to hang on in front of Nathan Kassler, though, in the 21 machine. But look at the number 7 of Justin Witt. Witt now battling for the 5th position. He wrestles that away from Nathan Kassler down the back straightaway.
Yeah, using the high side of the racetrack does that number 7 car, but Kassler going to fire back down low now. Almost a 3-way battle there with Tyler Blankenship. Witt trying to pull to the backside. Kassler going to run down low. Is now the yellow flag going to come over this field. Yellow flag for the second time now, working on lap number 16 here in Lakeland, Florida. Yellow, 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 and trying to go back and help you out, Todd, with a point of reference. And I believe we may have the likes of the 33 of Martin Karch and the 99 of Dan Collinsworth that may be involved here in our second caution flag of the night.
Yeah, it looks like Gary just runs the 33 a little bit out of real estate there. The 77 machine, he runs Martin Karch up the wall. The number 99 of Dan Collinsworth also getting involved in that one. It's I don't think the 77 of Gary Bunsen knew that the 33 was actually there of Martin Karch, so tough break for those drivers. 99 going to be relegated to the rear. The 33 also to the rear. And Michael Massey already out of this event, Phil, early on in the going. So Massey, first attrition here. So we have 16 cars left running out on the Speedway.
Sure do. And Todd, you've been in a race car like this on the dirt. You got that big lip there, these big spoilers on the back, those big heavy fins on the right rear of the race car. How tough is it to know that somebody else is out there when you're racing door-to-door close like that? You feel bad for a guy like Gary, you know, making contact with Martin, but as you said, he probably didn't know he was there. That's, by the way, the visibility is in these cars. It's got to be a tough chore.
Yeah, visibility not the greatest here in these cars, and even in a street stock, Phil, the visibility is not really that good, especially if you're looking out your front windshield. And I always coined, especially at my local track when I've raced, I may not have raced the late model, but I'm going to tell you from experience, you really can't tell a car's coming up on the inside of you or even the outside of you. You really can't see the nose till you see them out the side, almost up to your driver's door or your passenger side door. And that's almost the same kind of feeling here. You can almost hear them before they're coming. Unfortunately, you can't hear them as much in iRacing simulation as you can in real life. But you got to be able to get up next to that door before you know that guy is there sometimes.
Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see what's going to happen next year. But yeah, that's the insight, the brilliance, the analyst. I'm my buddy, one Mr. Too Tall Todd Stanton, giving it to you real as guy knows a lot of these guys know been behind the wheel of these cars, not only in real life, but in this simulation as well. And guys like me just kind of sit here in awe and listen to the way these things take off and the stories they can tell. But we're going to tell another story, Todd, as we're approaching halfway here. We're going to put lap number 20 up on the scoreboard here. So we're going to be halfway in our super late model portion of our evening with the guys over here at the Dirt Slingin Outlaws. Race number 1 of the season. We're going to have the entire year here, all 8 races live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, the iRacing.com. Pace truck is going to surrender its way for cover into the infield, and we're going to go back to green flag
wreck on the
racing.
start.
Look at that 25 car step on it as we have trouble now off of turn number 4. One car was gone around, and I also see a couple more cars slow there. So whatever happened to the restart, I'm not sure, but immediately Yellow Hanky coming back on the field.
Yeah, John Hand in the 75 just didn't go. I don't know. I don't know if he had a malfunction here, but on the start of this race, get ready to get the green flag. We're going to show you here the 75 what happened here, and yeah, he just didn't get on the loud pedal as quickly. The 55 is Schroyer getting into the back of him, and Hand goes around all by himself after a little bit of contact there from the 15 machine.
And this may be a product here. We talk about some of the rules they do a little bit different than anybody else. The leader has the ability to go on himself and doesn't have to wait for the flagger to drop the green. So that may have been premature of maybe John not being on the key there, waiting for the leader to go, and Scott maybe a little bit too overzealous. I guess that's easy to do because I guess they say restarts is what you got to do while you're pitting.
Yeah, you got to do all your passing, all your pit maneuver, I should say, as you would say, trying to get around these guys. Just kind of a bad pun there, pit maneuver, as that would be spinning a car out. But it's what you got to do here on a restart. You got to be able to make up those positions, and sometimes when you double file, that's where you're going to make it up there on the restart. And once these guys get strung out, it's so hard to pass unless you have an extremely fast setup. Now, the guys up to the top 5 have been able to do that, but you want to make up every inch of real estate you can on the restart of this event. But last year, what's different here at the Dirt Slingin Outlaws, last year, they were able to go on the green flag. That's what they were doing last year. This year, the leader's able to fire here and have also choice of lane. Whatever lane he wants, he can go into. And then he's able to fire on his own good cognizance and not get a black flag, hopefully. If he gets a black flag, obviously, I believe he's got to go down on pit road or get it cleared and lose positions, because that means he really, really jumped the start. But that's some of the rule changes here at Dirt Slingin Outlaws. It made it a little bit different, but it also caused that accordion effect here to bring out that yellow.
Oh, it certainly did, and I guess the call coming down from race control the entire rest of this event, Todd, second half of it, well, we are going to run it now with single file restart, so I think next time off of turn number 4, starters should put that one stick down, signaling that next time by, we are going to go green flag racing with Spencer Swafford, Tyler Blankenship, Nathan Kassler, the Missile, Mike Budson, and Justin Witt currently in your top 5. 6th, we find Steven Spees, Scott Schroyer 7th, Frank Gonzalez for 8th, Gary Budson 9th, Dan Collinsworth making out our top 10. 11th, we find Adam Joseph. 12th is John Hain. Blake Healer is 13th. David Day is 14th. Steven Spees going to run at our top 15. 16th is Martin Karch. 17th out of the event will be Mike Massey. So we've got 17 cars who started. 13 of them left on a lead lap, and now a single file restart to settle this one. Going to be working now lap number 23 of a 40-lap main event. So we still got a little bit of a race left to go. Can Spencer Swafford hold on? Can somebody like Tyler Blankenship or Nathan Kassler or somebody else from outside of the top 3 make a bid for the win? I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, some of these guys are rather fast, but I don't know if anybody has anything for Swafford. We're going to just have to wait and see. So we're getting ready to get the green flag off of turn number 4. Green flag's in the air. Loud pedal is down. Swafford fires first, obviously, because he is their current race leader. They head over Record Service sponsor number 25 machine, leading the charge down into turn number 1. Meanwhile, Hanover Record Service number 44, Tyler Blankenship right now holding on to the second spot. He was getting challenges there from Nathan Kassler, but here comes another start. Oh, Kassler into the wall, upside down, roof surfing, and more contact, spinning around like a top. We have another Turtle live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, this time Nathan Kassler.
Yeah, and right away there we go back under caution. Castle's wild ride at turn number 1 and 2, and I couldn't tell there was another black car there that I'm not sure if they made contact or not. Maybe a blue car. I'm not sure if it was a 7 of Witt or a 55 of Speeds. Either way, those guys were running down there charging the turn number 1 and 2, and unfortunately, as you'll go back and show there, Todd, Nathan Kassler, he just got run up the racetrack, and he went for another wild tumble, and a turtle. That's usually not a good seat.
Well, Kassler flirted with the wall on the front straightaway originally here in the 21 machine. He hit the wall. Then he comes down the straightaway, and all of a sudden, nobody touches him, Phil, at all. He just rips it up on top, getting up over that berm and into the wall, and the wall just propels him around. And that's Kassler upside down all by himself. I'm sure he's beating himself up in that number 21 machine. That's a costly mistake.
Sure is, and that car had some damage to the right side already, and then now upside down, getting a little bit of shot there. I believe the 5 car may have skirted by there, gave him a little shot as well. So put us back under caution here, working lap number 24, USA International Speedway, live at your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. Glad you guys have tuned in tonight live, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. It has been a really good long night of racing here. This is the third of our 3 feature events we've taken out here tonight, myself with Har, the first here to Dirt Slingin Outlaws with the pros, down here for the supers, and our sister stream with Charles Wooten over at the Northwest Racing Series. That looks like it has just gone live, too, with the Xfinity Series over there. So check out the Northwest Series, guys, and we're done. A 4-way quadruple split of Full Velocity Racing Network coverage here, Todd. I guess that's why they call us the absolute best of the best.
Yeah, definitely, Phil. Full Velocity Racing Network, like you said, if you want good quality coverage, you want the best announcers, I do believe the best announcers here in the iRacing simulation. You got to get a hold of Full Velocity Racing Network. And I tell you what, some good streams coming on with our partner there, Charles Wooten, able to now broadcast in 4K here coming up here rather soon. I'm going to be able to do the same thing, so that's going to be rather interesting too. So hopefully we'll see that. That will be out on YouTube only, obviously. But green flag going to come out of turn number 4. It is Spencer Swatford. Then you have the number 44, Blankenship, running in that second spot. Justin Witt in the 7 down to the bottom side. Where did Justin Witt come from in that number 7 machine? Man, is he fast in that 7.
Sure is. Looking down to the low side of Tyler Blankenship as they race on for the second spot. That blue car is Justin Witt. Looks like he's going to make that power move off of turn number 2. Put Justin Witt up to the second spot. Can he chase down Spencer Spofford? That 25 has been hooked up. It is 5 car lengths. The distance now for the race lead to second off of 2.
I can't believe the number 7 of Justin Witt up to the second spot, but Steven Spees in the 55 machine now challenging for third with Tyler Blankenship. Blankenship trying to hold on to that spot, but Spees is fast too in that 55 machine, but man, Swafford up front, 22.297 last time by. Second place was a 22.552. So with the second fastest car out there on the Speedway, fastest car is Spencer Swafford by 0.300. So Swafford just that much quicker.
Yeah, sure is. They're single file inside the top 4. We have a good race going on back there for the 5th spot with Scott Schroyer and the missile Mike Bunsen. They go door to door off of turn number 2. That is racing back there for the 5th spot. Bunsen versus Schroyer as they exit the turn. Is now yellow flag going to come off of Speedway. Just as was heating up for 5th and heating up also for 3rd. We put that yellow hanky back on the field now, working lap number 31, and not sure where it goes there, Todd, but once again, I'm ready to page another house call for Dr. Green because I think we've had enough of this yellow fever here this evening.
It's going to happen between the 77 of Gary Bunsen and a couple other drivers here as Bunsen in the 77 machine just gets a tad bit loose there in front of John Hain and back up the track, and Collinsworth gets collected into that one. So Gary Bunsen goes for a ride down in front of Adam Joseph and Martin Karch there as these guys get connected just a tad bit. But Bunsen, a lot of damage aboard the 77 machine.
All right, Todd, well, thank you there for the replay. As a tough break for Gary Bunsen. Those guys have all back there, Blake Heather as well. So they're going to be outside the top 10 as this here conversing with the children behind me. They walk in the door and just having a little hijinks off air. It's like, you know, they're liking the puns there, Todd. We come up with the Dr. Green needed the elixir for yellow fever. That's your line, but I got to say the kids behind me, they get a pretty good chuckle on that one.
Yeah, I learned that a long time ago. It's the Paging Dr. Green story. I've only heard it a couple times ever at a dirt track, but I heard it when I was, I'm going to say probably 6 or 7 years old. Can't even remember the announcer. I don't even think the announcer's around anymore that used to say that. He may have passed away by now, but it was 6 or 7 years old. I remember hearing it, and it stuck in my head. I used to play with my little cars on the carpet, And I used to say it all the time because I used to wreck them because it was fun.
Yeah, and the question I got for you, you talk about those little cars on the rug. Well, how old were you when you stopped playing with those things?
I tell you what, a lot of people talk about that, and you know, I tell you what, I was still keeping track of points. I had a big notebook. I had points. I had cars. I had numbers on them. If they didn't have numbers, I put numbers on them. I painted them on, or I put permanent marker on them. I'm gonna tell you, I probably had them out to 14, 15 years old. I tell you, I was a motorhead, definitely a motorhead. And then when I got a real car, that all stopped. I don't know where they actually disappeared to. Some of them were really nice paint schemes, I thought. Maybe not so much, but I thought they were good paint schemes out there. But I used to wreck them all the time and have a lot of great fun there. I see my son having fun with them now. So not my cars, but he's got his cars of his own, and I can't wait to see what he does with them.
I don't even want to tell my story, but it's a lot more pathetic than yours, but it's pretty good in their own right. That's why we're cut from the same cloth. As we go back to green flag racing, I don't say I was 23 years old when I finally hung them up, but we go back to green flag racing here, of course, with Spencer Swafford leading the way as we reminisce down memory lane. Makes me choke up a little bit thinking back those times, but good race going back here now for the third spot. Steven Spieth to the low side of Tyler Blankenship. Tyler somehow holds on. They're door-to-door to turn number 1. Racing for third as we're running out of laps here. We're 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, 5 laps remaining. The number 55 with Steven Spieth down to the bottom side by side by the 44 Blankenship. Blankenship up on the top shelf for the Speedway, trying to get his spot back, but he is going to lose the podium finish so far. Going to say that 44 machines. We still got 4 laps to go. Crossover maneuver by Tyler Blankenship down to the bottom side, almost trying to get up into the 55. Backs out of it there. Blankenship settling for the 4th spot. Here comes Scott Short in the number 15 machine. He's going to battle for 4th.
Troyer going to peek down to the low side of Blankenship for the 4th spot into turn number 3 and 4. Tyler drifts it up. Scott drives it really deep now off of 4. Give the spot to the 15. He is up to 4th, but I'm looking up front. Where the heck is Spencer Swafford? He is somewhere off in the distance. 15 car lengths. He's got this field covered over the 7 car of Justin Witt. Steven Spieth now up to 3rd, but he's going to have to hold off a hard-charging Scott Schroyer. 15 car now up to the 4th spot.
And 25, like you said, Spencer Swafford all out there. His popsicle sticks going there. 2 more trips around the USA International Speedway. Justin Witt for 2 in the number 7 machine. Going to get a chance to talk to a couple of different people here tonight. Steven Spieth running in that 3rd spot, but the 15, that was Scott Schroyer right there in his rear bumper.
Off of turn number 4, a white flag going to go out in the field for car number 25 of Spencer Swafford, who has just been laying it to him here tonight in these super late models. 20 car lengths the advantage off of turn number 2 over a very good number 7 car of Justin Witt, but into 3 and 4 for the final time in a dominating run. It is going to be car number 25, Spencer Swafford, going to pick up the win here at the USA International Speedway. In for 2 is going to be Justin Witt. 3rd going to be Steven Spieth. 4th for Scott Schroyer. Tyler Blankenship running our top 5 as they cross the line. 6th will be Frank Gonzalez. John Hine for 7th. Mike Bunson 8th. Adam Joseph for 9th. And Dan Collinsworth. That are in our top 10 here tonight, live, Todd, for the USA International Speedway. What a dominating butt kicking tonight for car number 25. Spencer Swafford going to go to victory lane.
Yeah, definitely a great race here as we're going to show the unofficial results here as something could change as the race winner, like you said, Spencer Swafford, that Hanover Wrecker Service sponsor machine, taking it down into victory lane. But we're going to go through and toggle through the race results here as Phil already kindly went through them. But again, the Full Velocity Racing Network, proud to bring that as we get ready to go down and try to find some of these guys. Make a phone call here in just a second as my other job called me here just a minute ago. So we'll get through these interviews and then I'll get off the air here as quickly as possible, unfortunately. But we're looking through the finishing lineup as we get ready for victory lanes.
All right, well, we'll move it down into the post-race show as it looks like these guys are ready and chomping at the bit to tell us all about their runs here tonight, the USA International Speedway. He won the Pro Late Models here just a little while ago, but this time he ends up in the 3rd spot in car number 55. Steven Spieth, good job here tonight in the Super Late Models, but say that 3rd place, you really had to earn that one here tonight. Tell us about your run.
I'm just glad that's over. I didn't feel like the car was any good. I didn't feel like I deserved to be in 3rd, certainly. Like just kind of luck of the catastrophes that were happening on the track. So I'm just happy to get through and move on to the next track.
Oh, you say the catastrophes there certainly helped. It didn't seem like we really had a lot of green flag laps run here to get into a rhythm. And how much of this place is a rhythm racetrack here? You get these supers, open setups, a long sweeping racetrack like USA. It's going to take some patience here, not only to set up these cars, but you got to be on your game to get around this place fast, I would say.
I would totally agree with you. It's hard to drive these things anyway. And as you go down the straightaway, you got to be so careful, and the thing starts wobbling on you and people bump into each other, and it's a handful on this track.
Well, that was a lot of fun to watch tonight. Stephen picking up the win in our pro late models and taking down the third place spot here in the super late model. So I'm going to give you the floor one more time, live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. You know how this drill works. Take the floor away from me.
Yeah, again, thanks to the guys for putting the league on and doing the work that it takes. Also, thank the Stars on Dirt guys again. Got a setup from the teammate there right before the feature, and an apology I probably owe. I got to go back and watch the replay. I'm hoping it was netcode, but I think I got into Michael Massey earlier in the race, and if I crashed him, then apologies to him, and I'll take whatever punishment comes.
Well, that's a man of his word right there. It's an honorable guy. Car number 55, Steven Spees ends up in a third spot here tonight for the DSO Super Late Models. We'll let him get back to it and maybe throw those apologies out there if Mike's still there or not exactly sure, but these guys do a great job as always. We'll run a little bit further down pit road and welcome a new voice in the Full Velocity Racing Network, the driver of car number 7W, Justin Witt. And Justin, somehow, someway, you come out of nowhere with a very solid second place run. Tell us all about it, man. You impressed us up here.
Man, this is just wonderful, man. Guys at MSR, they turned out a hell of a setup.
I think it was really good here tonight. And to even run down a guy like Spencer Swafford, who was really on the money here tonight, your car was equally as good there in that long run, finishing up with the second spot. You said the MSR guys gave you a really good setup, but man, this is a lot of fun to watch you come up through the. You passed a lot of race cars. That second place finish, that was really well earned.
Yeah, we're totally stoked. Starting back there, towards the back. Wasn't sure where we were going to finish, but we put it all and came up with second place. We'll sure take that any day of the week.
Well, absolutely. You got to take that anytime you get it here. Justin, welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network. Good to have you here for the first time. I think I've gotten interviewed. I've interviewed a lot of guys over the years. So we're live tonight, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV as always here on the network. So I'm going to give you the mic one final time. Great crowds out there watching tonight through all three media platforms. So any friends, family, or sponsors out there to thank there, buddy, the floor is all yours. And again, congratulations on a great second place finish here.
Hey, thanks, guys. I just want to thank the guys at Mindset Racing. They turn hell of a good race cars. Folk Brothers transmissions, Folk Brother Racing engines. I don't remember who all to thank, but man, all my sponsors are great for coming on board this year, and just trying to turn laps and see what we can do.
Well, you turned some heads here tonight, brother. Car number 7W, Justin Witt, ends up in the second spot here tonight, the USA International Speedway here in Lakeland, Florida. We'll let him go back there and celebrate with the MSR guys. It was a job really well done by them, and I'll turn the show over next to my broadcast partner, Mr. Too Tall Todd Stanton, who greets a very fast car number 25, Spencer Swafford in victory lane. If you can run as fast as he can, Todd, because that car tonight, he was in a different area code.
Well, able to keep up with him because he's down here in victory lane, taking down the victory here in the number 25 Hanover Wrecker Service sponsored machine. Tell you what, Spencer, there was not a zip code to be found. There was not an area code to be found. We even thought you made it out to the Midwest already. You were driving off into the West Coast. You were gone here tonight, Spencer, and fantastic race for you tonight, showing you in that number 25 just how fast it was. Tell us about your race.
It was just mostly consistency and just got to be throttle work. And, yeah, the track was like you could run the top around here, but I just preferred the bottom. If you touch the wall and bend up your right rear spool, you're going to scrub off a whole lot of speed. So I just found more consistency on the bottom, just kept it pinned, and somehow pulled away with it.
Able to take down the victory here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Slingin Outlaws Super Late Models, and early with the points lead here. It's got 7 races left, but this was a fantastic race for you. Planning on running the whole season over here?
Yep, plan on running every single race over here.
All right, Spencer, we're going to give the microphone. The floor is all yours. Thank you. I'd like to thank tonight. I know there's a lot of sponsors on that car.
Yeah, I'd like to thank RBRC, Hanover Trucking, Border and Wayne, Hatfield and McCoy, Highside Graphics, and Mud Ducks Racing. Them guys wouldn't be able to do it without them. They help me out with setups and stuff like that. And we just got things figured out, and hopefully we can get a good finish in the Spring Fling and 1126 Productions, Wicked Energy, and iRacing iFlag.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a long list of sponsors here for the driver of the number 25, Spencer Swafford, taking down the victory here. USA International Speedway Dirt Slingin Outlaws opening night here for the super late models. I know he's going to be involved in the Spring Fling. I know Charles will be on the controls for that one here in the upcoming days here. And it's going to be a fantastic show here on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
Absolutely right, and it's been a busy couple of nights. It's going to stay busy for us all week long. Our brother Charles Wooten is over right now with the Northwest Racing Series. Their race about to go green out there in the Xfinity car, so check him out over there. And Todd and myself will be back tomorrow night live over for some more pro late model racing action at the guys over at the Simatics tomorrow night. Wednesday night, a stop back over to DWR for their weekly round of Wednesday night street fights. Thursday night, we may have something planned over with the guys at DirtSeries.com. Going to get a hold of those guys, see what they got going on. Then we'll highlight the entire week Friday night with the guys back over the Simatics. There's 360 sprint cars. So just a lot of what a good racing week is going to be right here live on the network. So that's going to do us here for us tonight. For Todd, I am Phil. For Charles, for Jack, for Ron, Josh Smith for doing cameras, all the cast of characters behind the scenes. Thanks for watching tonight on your source for esports racing. Good night.